Hello and welcome to the Cox Sports Report. I'm with my co-host Matt Hatfield and I am Morgan Lang, and we are delighted to have you all join us as we're going to see the Group 5A regional quarterfinals kicking off our sports report. Matt, who's starting us off?
That's right, Morgan. We start off with the Green Run Stallions and the Maury Commodores, two teams with identical records of 8-3 overall in Virginia Beach. As you got a Green Run team putting up a lot of points offensively, and they get it started, Morgan, with the passing attack. It is Austin Lynch to Anthony Scott, the Beach District Offensive Player of the Year, and he goes the distance 60 yards for a touchdown.
Very nice play there, starting them off for Green Run, and the Stallions are taking the lead 7-0 early in the first quarter. We'll have an opportunity here for Maury Commodores, but what is this? It's looking like it might be going the other way with a fumble, and it is. It's a fumble, and it's recovered by number 9, Jock Pitts. What a nice spot there. And we've got Braylon Cipher getting a 15-yard run going the other way for the Stallions, and it's a quick early lead, 14-0 for the Stallions.
How about that Green Run offensive attack? 154 points the last 3 games, and they're going for some more now. It's Austin Lynch to Anthony Scott, showing off that speed. Electrifying he is. 83 yards, the distance there, and Green Run adding to its lead against Maury, and unstoppable right now on offense as the Stallions are overwhelming the Commodores.
Then Scott, we'll see again here. Why it's working once, it's working twice. Maybe it'll work a third time as he's going to break down the left side of the field, cross the 50-yard line, break that last tackle, and he is going to go all the way in. Another 58-yard run. Shaw will make the kick, and it'll be a 27-0 lead for the Stallions.
Green Run just very impressive offensively against the Maury team, enjoying a bounce-back season this year. Now they go to their star running back, the sophomore Delvion Little, who gets tripped up for a short gain, and now to the air they will go. They air it out. It is going to be a pass down the field to Raekwon Carter, back of the end zone, and he hauls it in, but he is out of bounds, so Maury unable to convert that opportunity, and now they give it to Scott, and by now, you know what happens.
Well, we know exactly what's going to happen is he's going to go not for his third, but for his 4th touchdown for the night. This one is 77 yards. That is 4 touchdowns, over 50 yards, each of them apiece, all in the first half.
He's a game breaker, no doubt about it. Is Green Run on top, 34-0, still 7 minutes and change to go in the second quarter. And Austin Lynch is going to spread the wealth around, not just to Scott, but he finds Ishmael Murray, one of his key wide receivers, for a huge gain in the red zone of Maury, showing off that passing attack to go with the tough running game. And it'll be Braylon Cyphers for his 2nd touchdown of the night as Green Run continues to roll late in the first half.
Yes, they do, and we'll see the extra point here, and it's going to be up, and it is going to be blocked. Good defense there by Maury, and its special teams get a nice shout out there. 40-0 at the break, and Maury having another opportunity here with the ball. Ooh, he's trying to get it loose. It's looking like it might be a fumble, and it is recovered by DeAndre Finklia. Nice pickup there, as we'll see how this one develops.
And his 2nd in 2 weeks there, Morgan, for Green Run's defensive lineman there, Finklia. And now it's Austin Lynch down the field, got an open receiver. It's Ishmael Murray, 40 yards to pay dirt as Green Run continues to pour it on offensively. Jeff McGowan's group just very lethal right now. 46-0 clock is running with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Oh, we've got a halfback pass here from Devon Little to Raekwon Carter, getting some momentum here for the Commodores as they get across the half line, and they are going to continue going down. And we'll see if this one develops as we've got Little catches the drive, getting a 3-yard run. Unfortunately, a little too late here for them, but 1 minute into the 4th, and they're back on the board.
And Green Run, hard to believe this team was 2-8 just a season ago as they now win back-to-back playoff games for the first time in school history. A 39-point triumph for them as you see Anthony Scott. What a performance. 4 total touchdowns and 299 yards of offense. Austin Lynch with 3 touchdowns, 1 to Ishmael Murray, who had 111 yards receiving in the route.
And we're going to kick off here going to the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, where we'll see the Crabbers enter with a victory over Great Bridge with a 45-28 win, and Sun Devils coming off a win versus Kempsville. I'll have a nice kickoff return here by Kyrie Burton, who picked it up at the 13. He is going to go 52 yards, getting it back to the 35-yard line as he gets tripped up there by that defense.
Always nice to have a special team spark. Robert Jackson, Sun Devils have it, and now that sets up the running game with Malik Butts down to the 1-yard line. The sophomore tailback setting it up for the sophomore quarterback Jarrell Lightbody punching in from a yard out, and Salem is on the board first, 6-0.
And that's because this kick is blocked. Great Crabbers special teams there, getting the block there, 6-0 as Matt says. But we'll see everyone getting rallied. These cheerleaders are even getting excited. They're moving and juking on this Friday night. And we've got a run here by the Crabbers. And who's it going to? Demetrius Strickland, sophomore running back, who's just going to set up Javon Quillen for a 1-yard punch it in. and they are back on the board.
And they take the lead with Bo Lomax's extra point. So Hampton up 7-6 in a game where we see a lot of sophomores. We mentioned the quarterbacks and running backs starting for both teams. Lomax's kick is up and through the uprights, and that means very good things for Coach Mike Smith and Coach Jackson as his teams continue to build for the future. Now Salem trying to rally down by a point. It's Terrell Lightbody has his pass batted down there by the Hampton defenders who watch it again. There, Arrington Bazemore getting his hands on it.
A nice defense there as they bat that down, getting rallied behind them. And we've got Salem with the ball. The Sun Devils with Lightbody with a bomb, and it is in the end zone, but it is incomplete. Unfortunate there, but nice to see the momentum starting to come the other way as Salem's going to go again. This time to Avery Lipscomb as he's going to get a nice grab around the 20, and they're in the red zone.
Those Salem receivers coming up big with some clutch receptions, and now it's Malik Butts running there low on the shoulder and lowering the boom as he gets closer to that end zone for the Sun Devils, and give it to him again. Let him cap off the drive with a 6-yard score. Salem now back in front, although the extra point for the Sun Devils will be blocked again as Coach Jackson is probably wondering, they need to inflate that ball a little bit more here as they're only up by 5. Can Hampton make a rally to take the lead back?
We'll see here in a second as we've got an opportunity for the Crabbers. So they're going to go run up the middle on 3rd down here with the chance, and they're brought down. Not moving the chains as much as I'm sure they'd like, but we've got an option pitch here and swallowed by that Salem defense. Those Sun Devils are just everywhere. The Crabbers try to find a way out, and they're not, but it's played out.
Yeah, they certainly are swarming to the football there, and Javon Quillen now deep inside his own 5 yard. You see the pressure by Mikkel Skeeter, and he is brought down by Will Northleaf with the vicious hit there as that defense for Salem really starting to take control of things.
And Salem here with who are we going to go to? Butts. He's had 1 of the night. Is he going to get 2 of the night? And he just bulldozes through those. And he is going to go 7 yards to pay dirt, and that is 2nd touchdown of the night. They will go for 2 because I guess the extra points just aren't working. And Gerald Lightbody will get in, and it's 20-7 with the lead for the Sun Devils.
There you go by Lightbody, pushing that pile to get the Sun Devils up by 2 possessions, and they would need that certainly against a Hampton offense that's very explosive despite their youth. And now the Crabbers needing to rally and do so in a hurry, down by 13 in the 4th quarter. It'll be a pump fake by Javon Quillen over the middle. That pass is broken up there by DJ Davis, the defensive back for the Sun Devils, who will hold on to win this one by a count of 20-7 over the Crabbers.
And Salem improves to 10-2 and will play Green Run with a big win and for team and coach Robert Jackson. As we saw, Malik Butts getting his 2 touchdowns and Gerald Lightbody aiding with him with touchdowns. Javon Quillen trying to make a rally there with his touchdowns and 53 yards, and Demetrius Strickland, as we saw, having an impressive game.
And that sets up the 5A South semifinal matchups. Morgan Green Run 9-3 taking on Salem in a rematch from the regular season. Sun Devils won that one 44-6. And LC Bird defending Division 6 state champion now in D5 at 12-0, putting their undefeated record on the line against Atlee. But we've got more. Don't you go anywhere right here on Sports Report. And welcome back to Sports Report with Morgan Lang. I am Matthew Hatfield. It's transition time for the Old Dominion Monarchs to make the move to Conference USA this season. ODU regroup from a season-opening overtime loss to Missouri State with 4 consecutive wins. First-year head coach Jeff Jones recently caught up with us for this edition of Cox Sports Report Extra.
Well, it's great. It's certainly a big challenge and something that you know I'm really excited about. It's been such a hectic transition, I guess you would say, through the summer. But now that we've started practice, it's it's exciting to actually get out here on the court, and the season opener will be here before you know it. So it's been a lot in a short amount of time, but. I'm really happy the way things have gone thus far. The question that's been asked of me the most is, how are we going to play? What style of play? And I've been, I think, pretty consistent in my response in that, the coaching tree that I've come from has always accentuated, trying to put your players in the best position possible for success, and that's exactly what we're going to be trying to do. We want to play an aggressive style. Obviously everyone wants to play an up-tempo style, but you've got to make sure that if you're going to do that, that you can rebound at the defensive end and you can do, certain things. I think it looks like, in looking at our roster and having, seen our players for a brief time, that we're not going to have a lot of interior scoring. So that means that we're going to have to rely on our perimeter players to create offense and to be able to break the defense down and create points in the paint in a different way. Two guys that come to mind, right off the bat. Keenan Palmore, has worked extremely hard. Obviously, he started last year at a guard position as a freshman. Got some valuable experience. Keenan is a very competitive young man. He's got some toughness, and I look for him to be a guy that can really make a positive contribution, and really I think in his role as a point guard to try to help the other guys, play well. And then Aaron Baycoat is another young man that has had an excellent offseason. Again, another sophomore, very, very high basketball IQ. I think he's got the makings of being a great leader, and I think we'll see him be able to be a little bit more consistent in terms of his perimeter shooting. That is an aspect of his game that he really excels. The Constant Center is a beautiful building, and obviously it's been a great home court advantage for ODU for a number of years, and it's something that certainly we will highlight. We have highlighted in our recruiting efforts. It is a top-notch facility, and with the support that we get for men's basketball, it is really a positive for our program. I can't wait to coach my first game in the building and kind of be able to walk out there and see it full. It's going to be very exciting.
Well, it's great to see the Monarchs and Coach Jones' first season are off to a great start.
Yes, it is, Morgan, and they're getting strong contributions from a couple of local products, and Aaron Baycoat out of Bethel High and Jordan Baker from Hampton High. But the schedule doesn't get too much easier. They got the Cancun Challenge this week with West Virginia, and also a highly anticipated matchup with in-state rival VCU in December.
And we're going to kick back off, going to football, leaving basketball. We're going to see more scores from across the state in playoffs, where we see number 1, Lafayette taking number 8, Warren County, 63-7, as Jalil Green, recently committed to William & Mary, getting 6 touchdowns, school record, plus an interception. What an incredible way to see him go on both sides.
And the number 3 seed Central Woodstock victorious over number 6 seed Pocosin, 22-14. Daniel Molina with 114 yards rushing and a touchdown. We've got matchups coming up in the 3A East semifinals. Number 4 James Monroe, 8-4, taking on undefeated number 1 seed Lafayette at 12-0.
And Central Woodstock, 10-2, going to number 2 Loudoun Valley, 10-2 as well. Both going to be challenging one there, both having records. And Riverheads takes Bruton 48-13 as Lansdale gets 11 rushing, 142 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we've got more highlights, including Western Branch taking on Ocean Lakes and Heritage and Denbigh here on Sports Report.
Welcome back to Cox Sports Report. I'm Morgan Lang with my co-host Matthew Hatfield, and we are going to launch off to Todd Stadium in Newport News, where we're going to see the Hurricanes take on the Patriots, where the Hurricanes are in their best season since their state title year in 2000, and they just had a win over Powhatan last week.
Yes, they did, and Denbigh coming off their first ever playoff victory, defeating Glen Allen in the last round. This is a rematch from the regular season back in September when Heritage rallied for a 33-20 win. We could see this being tight and maybe another team trying to rally. Let's find out what happens here at Todd Stadium as you have two Newport News rivals hooking up in a pivotal clash. Winner go home mode now as Heritage has the football first. It's their quarterback Jeremiah Boyd on the move here as he gets something going here for that Hurricanes offense, which has been mighty good down the stretch here.
And it's going to continue going down that stretch as we're going to go from a pass from Boyd to Bernard Zaxby, who's wide open, and he will end up getting across, and he is going to go in 35-yard pass, and he is in for the first score of the game, and the Hurricanes are up 6-0.
And we go to the second quarter. It was the first score, and it won't be the last because we got a lot of scoring coming up in this one. And it's Terrence Dingle, the quarterback for Denbigh, having a tremendous senior year to Jaquan Jenkins. Look at him juke out Dimitri Holloway, the stud linebacker for Heritage, before Jamal Washington finally brings him down inside the 5.
But they're going to give it to Jenkins again here, as it's going to be from Terrence Dingle to Jenkins, and he's going to go 14 yards to get the score, and it's going to continue there, putting them on the board for the Patriots 7-6.
Denbigh with the lead, but Heritage doesn't want it to be for long as Wanye Patillo, senior running back for Heritage, running down the sideline into Denbigh territory as the Hurricanes are knocking on the door for some points. It'll be Jeremiah Boyd back to Bernard Saxby, that 6'1", 185-pound junior tight end. Touchdown Hurricanes.
You can see how he just plowed through those guys and is up on the board. And we're moving forward here as we have Terrence Dingle rolling to the right, and he's going to throw, but it is going to be intercepted by Dimitri Holloway, who had a big play earlier in the game, and he is just going to keep moving down that field as he is finally brought down, but it's not going to stop there. We're going to go to Wanye Patillo here, and he is going to the left side, and he is looking good, and he gets across for a 22-yard run, and that is a touchdown. They'll go for 2, unfortunately miss it, so it's 26-7.
No need for a comeback this time by Heritage, but Denbigh, you know they're going to make a comeback attempt with that passing attack. And look at Jaquan Jenkins keeping the balance as he runs over a guy on his way to the end zone for a touchdown. And Denbigh with that 40-yard strike now, it's 26-14. The Patriots with that passing attack, if you watch them, you know they're not going to go away quietly as it's now Dingle connecting again with Tyrek Birds, and the Patriots are marching down the field, Morgan.
And they're going to march, and they're going to continue to march as it's going to be here, and it's going to be a pass to, who we guessing to? It's going to Jenkins, and why not? He's on fire tonight as he gets in for the score.
And Denbigh's offense now starting to give Heritage a scare. It's 32-21. Canes with an 11-point lead, trying to milk the clock, but it's a fumble, and this could change the game around in a major way. There's Derek Melton with the scoop and score, 51 yards on the fumble recovery to the house, and we got a ball game in the fourth quarter. Get on the edge of your seat.
Woo, and they had gone for 2 there, so we've got a score of 32-29 as Khalil Wharton got a pass from Dingle to get those 2 extras, and Dingle's going to be trying to make something happen here with a pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Unfortunately, they're trying to rally as we watch them again as Denbigh's trying, and it's a nice pass, and it looks like it could be a fumble, and it's just incomplete again.
Another last gasp for Denbigh. It's Dingle over the middle, and it's incomplete. Heritage would end up hanging on for a 32-29 hard-fought victory over Denbigh. Great year for both of these teams. Jeremiah Boyd, the freshman, with 118 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Bernard Saxby, and you see Jaquan Jenkins with 3 of those touchdown catches from Terrence Dingle in defeat.
And Kings Fork will take Phoebus, and what an upset there as Kings Fork upset #1 seed Phoebus 17-14, and they'll end up playing Heritage next week as Austin Wall gets the game-winning 42-yard field goal as time expires. And Lake Taylor takes Hanover 35-3 as Nairi Quinterly gets 3 total touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 through the ground.
Nairi Quinterly, a special player, and Dinwiddie with some special players. They shut out Norcom 42-0. Ronald Kearney, one of those guys, 190 total yards and 5 touchdowns, 4 passing and 1 rushing for the undefeated Generals.
And we're going to take a look here and see who's playing. As we said, Kings Forth is going to take Heritage, #4, and we'll see Lake Taylor go to Dinwiddie as each taking the lead. Lake Taylor 10-2 and Dinwiddie 12-0 with an undefeated season.
3 local teams trying to make a run for a state championship, and now we move on over to Virginia Beach as the Ocean Lakes Dolphins take on the Western Branch Bruins in a pivotal showdown. These 2 teams met last year, Morgan, with the Dolphins winning by a count of 41-20. Can the Bruins get revenge?
I guess we'll have to see how this one develops here as we have Ocean Lake starting off the game. We're going to go up the middle to senior Brandon Simmons, who's going to get a nice 40-yard run on the first play for Ocean Lakes. But it's not going to stop there because we go to Simmons once. Let's go to Simmons again. This time he's going to get through, breaks through. He goes 15 yards, and that is going to put them on the board 7-0 for Ocean Lakes.
Such an explosive offense for the Dolphins of Ocean Lakes, undefeated on the year and trying to get back to that state title again. They lost a year ago to LC Bird, and now they're going with the passing attack as Mike Alston. You're in good hands with Alston as he comes up with a one-handed snag as we watch this again. Unbelievable catch from Churchy Harold.
See that as he gets that nice snag there, one-handed. That is quite an athletic kid if you're looking at that. And we've got a finished off here, which set up a play for who? We're going to Simmons, and that's going to be his second touchdown of the night, putting them up on the board. Dolphins lead 14-0.
Now it's T.J. Booth, the Hampton University commit at quarterback. 3rd down conversion here, a pivotal one for Western Branch as he moves the chains there at quarterback. And T.J. Booth will keep it again, this time a 26-yard touchdown run up the middle, pretty much untouched as the Bruins are battling back against this high-octane Ocean Lakes offense.
And it's exciting for Booth. He's committed to Hampton University. Nice to see he's going to be staying local with us. And we've got Simmons here for the Dolphins with the run, and he's going to be caught up here by that Bruins defense, which is good to see that not quitting no matter which way they go. And Simmons here, though, will set up as he punches it in to give them the lead of 21-6.
Brandon Simmons, what a first half he had on the ground for the Dolphins. Morgan, 183 yards, and that passing attack, pretty dangerous. Churchy Herald down the field to a streaking Mike Alston, 66 yards to pay dirt and Ocean Lakes in all kinds of ways. Running and throwing.
Absolutely. And it's not going to be the end as we see Jeff Sweet. Take a look at this next play here as we've got Jet Sweet to TJ Griffin, who's got the Duke offer on the table, and that's going to be 15 yards and very exciting there, which sets up who?
Brandon Simmons up the middle for the touchdown, breaking tackles. He'll go in 15 yards for the touchdown, Morgan, as Ocean Lakes continues to pour it on in this one against a quality Western Branch team that came in with a record of 10-1. It's 41-14 Dolphins in the third quarter.
And it's going to be a return here by Western Branch as Davion Taylor is going to be able to get an opportunity to move to the right, move into the center, and he jukes one, jukes two, and he is continuing to go across the 50-yard line. He is finally brought down by that defense, but he is going to get a nice 50-plus yard run, which is going to set up TJ Booth to Corey Gray with the grab. A 12-yard pass there, which gets them on the score 41-20. And why is this ironic, Matt?
That was a score last year's game, but guess what? We got some more scoring. It ain't going to be the score of this year's game. Churchy Herald over the middle of Quincy Watts, who comes up with it. Unbelievable catch by Watts as these receivers are making some plays, Morgan.
Oh, let's watch this replay here as Quincy Watts gets up and that defense just drills him, but he holds on to that football and he is not stopping. It's going to continue this game going into the fourth quarter here, where we've got Western Branch going to Cindy Wellens, who reaches out and grabs that, gets across pace dirt, 57 yards. Booth to Wellens, and that is 55-28, and the Bruins have an opportunity there and ends the game. Ocean Lakes will have a school record for yards in the game with 636 total yards.
Brandon Simmons with 192 of those yards and 4 touchdowns. Alston with 159 receiving and a touchdown. As you see, TJ Booth finishing up with 211 yards and 3 touchdowns in his final game with the Bruins.
And Oscar Smith will take number 4 Grassfield 41-7 as Monty Fenner goes for 158 yards with a touchdown. And stay with us. We'll look forward to seeing you all next week. We hope you all have a great Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.